Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat and I'm here to show you the lovely journal for Fern. She's all finished, so I wanted to come on and do a flip through and then we'll do a little bit of collaging when we're all done. So this journal, why do I always forget to get the ruler out? Measures 6 1/4, almost 6 3/4 really, by 9 inches. And it has a 2-inch spine. There are 3 signatures sewn in on the inside there. And there's all kinds of fabric ruffles. There's little charms that I've put on some of the fabric. And most of these have been gifted to me because, as I've said before, well, we'll get to them when we flip through it, but I don't make a whole lot of jewelry type things, so I just don't really have any of that kind of stuff, and that's fine because I don't need more stuff. I don't need another project because I've got enough. So anyway, most of those have been gifted to me, and thank you to everybody who's given them to me. And then I have the little cameo from Denise at one of our crafts, and some of her little trim, the pink there and there, and a little bit of avocado dyed lace from her, and then just some coffee dyed seam binding that I got from Susie at Creative Cafe Girl. And then this is just some crochet lace that I had. So we'll go inside here. And on the inside we have the pocket that we made together the other day. Hope you guys can see everything okay. And I made this tag or journaling card, whatever. It doesn't have the tag cut edges, but you know, works the same. And then this is Medieval Mirage. This is from my old Love Notes Digi. And then it's got some Grammy's Keepsake coffee dyed Digi. I have had people say that they couldn't get this when they went to Grammy's Keepsakes. So Grammy's Keepsakes, if you do have this in your shop, could you put it in the comments below, just so that people know that, you know, that's where I got this. And then this is one of my collage pocket pages. I just put all these pieces on and I only glued them, you know, kind of like around the edges sort of thing, so that it could be a pocket here. And this is a piece of Medieval Mirage from her Feminine Finesse digital download. And then this is some avocado dyed paper that I inked around the edges. Did that just, oh no, that was the page. Stamped a little bit of like script on there, and then a rose just for a little journaling spot. This is from my 1891 digital download, and I've had lots of people asking about digital downloads, and they you get them on Etsy, or at least that's the most I've seen. You just go on to Etsy, go on to or you can put in digital download. It'll take you to all different people who are selling digital downloads. You can find one you like, purchase it, and then you're going to download it onto your computer. So if you don't have a computer, you're not going to be able to do that. A lot of places will print them for you, so you just have to talk to the seller and find out about that. But that's what a digital download is. It's something that you get onto your computer, and then you're able to print it at home as many times as you'd like. And some sellers will have stipulations like you can only, you know, print it and sell things 100 times or whatever, but you can't sell the actual digital downloads as your own and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what it is. It's just another way to get paper that has been designed by all different artists. This was one of our little fabric clusters that I made, and I just glued it right on there. And that's just the back of those. And this is that pink masking paper I get at Home Depot. Had lots of people asking about that. My little ruffle trim, there's a little key charm on this one, like one of those old skeleton keys. And then I added a pocket here, and it has a journaling card. I finally got to use my butterfly, guys. I don't know why I wanted to use that one so bad, but I did. So it's there. This is Rachel at Roxy Creations, one of her digital downloads where she has all kinds of embroidery pieces, super pretty. And this is Medieval Mirage. This is from her Feminine Finesse. avocado dyed paper from Denise at Wonderbar Crafts, and the last I heard she had a few of the avocado dye paper kits in her shop, but you know, they could have sold, I don't know, but anyway, the last I heard she had some. This is Medieval Mirage. This is some of that manila drawing paper. I get it on Amazon. I just did a little kind of collage there, and then a collage tag. And this button design that I have, that's old scrapbook paper. All these are just scraps, except that's Rachel Roxy Creations butterfly there. And this is Tracy Fox, and so are these flowers. This is Rachel Roxy Creations, one of her doilies that you can buy from her and print. And there's my 1891 digital download avocado dyed graph paper that has lines on the other side. Medieval Mirage. This is just some music paper that I have that has pictures on one side. 1891. This is Rachel Roxy Creations coffee dyed paper. So that's another place that you can get coffee dyed digital download, and it's beautiful. So Roxy Creations has that on Etsy. This is scrapbook paper that I had with these roses on it, and I just printed, I cut it down to 8.5 by 11 size and then printed Rachel's coffee dye paper on the back, and then I inked it because it was white. And that's the other side of the coffee dye. This is my 1891 digital download and the music paper, and on the other side of the music paper we did a collage kind of like this yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Sorry, I'm starting to get my days kind of confused because I've been doing a couple of videos a day. But this is one that I did by myself. This is a tag that I got out of a paper pack that I had. I just put in this little tag that I made that's a place to write, and it's actually a postcard. And I just folded it, you know, to look like a little envelope and punched a hole there. And you could do a string and tie it around and all that. I left this as a belly band so it can go all the way through. This was a leftover piece of an envelope that I just collaged over the top of, and I even collaged just one piece of paper inside of there because it was that weird safety background in black. This is out of my 1891 digital download. So this just slides in there, and it can kind of tuck back this way further. You could tuck more things, and then that's just like a belly band. And then this is a piece of that collage paper that I made, and I did this pocket and a tag. I just added one of Rachel Roxy Creations butterflies there. So that's that. And Medieval Mirage, Rachel Roxy Creations, or I mean Wonderbar Crafts, sorry. I'm bound to mess up somewhere. 1891, that's mine. Manila drawing paper, Medieval Mirage, avocado dye, Medieval Mirage, and this is our envelope little flip pocket thing with the, is this gonna get stuck now? It's been sitting in there ever since I made it, so it's possible. With our little journaling cards and those envelopes, and then they flip closed like that, and you could journal a little here, but I kind of just like that as a decoration. And then there's a tag up here that's decorated on one side and a spot for journaling on the back. So a lot of people ask me what this stuff is for, like, you know, why do we make it? We make it because we like it. It's like our own art form. That's what we enjoy doing. And people can use it by, even though you're covering a page, you're adding pockets and tucks and things so that people can find another place to write on. And it's just a different way of, I don't know, of showing our art. I guess it's very much like doing mini albums and things like that. People did stuff like this, and then you could add pictures on the back and write about the pictures. And you can still do the same thing with junk journals. You can use them for pictures or whatever. You can write in them, you can draw on them, you can write poetry, you can, a lot of them are art journals, so you can paint in them if they have like watercolor paper. There's loads of things you can do with journals, and so I get asked that question a lot. I'm actually going to stitch around this, Fern. So I'm going to take it out so that I can stitch around it and stitch that lace down a little bit. That's bugging me. So that, and then 1891, this was just a piece of old book page that was really kind of cool, and I just stamped lines on it using corrugated cardboard and added a pretty flower from Tracy Fox. And then this was just a little paper that I'm working on a Digi, kind of like that, and so that's just kind of a sneak peek, I guess. But anyway, there's that to write on, and Grammy's Keepsakes, my lace from my old love notes, and Medieval Mirage. This is the second signature, Medieval Mirage, Rachel at Roxy Creations. I have this pocket here that's in my 1891 Digi, and so is that tag, and I just backed it with avocado dye paper. I added to this pocket this photograph, so I stitched around it, added a little lace and lace down here. That's my 1891 Digi. This is Rachel Roxy Creations coffee dye, digital, for digital download. That's more of that scrapbook paper that I had. I used it up, so avocado dye, my 1891 Digi, avocado dye, Medieval Mirage. Oh, there's another little dangle there. It's just a kind of a pretty frosted bead, and there's a couple little beads on there as well, just for some sparkle. That one got kind of dinged. And then this is my 1891, and this is that little fabric flip that we made together. It's like a mini fabric flip. And then this is the glassine pocket that we added all the fabric and the girl to, and then the journaling card that goes with it, and music paper and manila drawing paper, Medieval Mirage. This, I'm not sure, I think that's Grammy's Keepsake. Avocado dye. This is Rachel at Roxy Creations, Medieval Mirage, a little snippet, oops, you can't even see it there very well, little cluster, fabric cluster, Wonderbar Crafts, Grammy's Keepsake, Medieval Mirage, drawing paper, music paper, that's part of my 1891. I like to have some pages in my digitals where, you know, it's mostly for writing. And there's that big heart charm that I added. Medieval Mirage, avocado dye. This is that little pocket that we made, and I just put lace along here after I put it on because it's made out of an envelope, so I put the flap over there. It's not a tuck or anything, it's just for decoration. And then this opens like this, and that card comes out. And then you can see the girl through the window there in the envelope. And this is the big lace pocket with the Tim Holtz wallpaper. And if you like Fern, you can add stuff to that tag. I like that wallpaper. And then this is just kind of like a little collage I did with old book page that's been lined, and I added other book page and tore it off, kind of like we do with the playing cards, same idea. And then one of Tracy Fox's flowers, and then my lace paper, and Rachel at Roxy Creations, Medieval Mirage, my lace. This is Medieval Mirage. I just put a piece here to write on because it was a book page. So this is Grammy's Keepsakes for sure. This is that page that we did yesterday that has all the little tucks and little spots to put things. And the tags. And this is, remember, just a little short kind of pocket because it's a tag. And then we have the music paper. Oops, this one goes in there. I keep saying oops today. Oops, oops, oops. So these just go in there. And then Medieval Mirage. This is our, I think the first pocket I did, that lace pocket. And then we've got the little booklet that you can write on in the inside. that just tucks in here, and it's a little easier to tuck in now that it's sewn into the book, you know. I mean, you do kind of have to get that corner in there, but it's not too bad. And I was going to say, you can decorate these corners more if you want. You could stitch some things onto that lace, but I like the lace. So. And then this is Rachel Roxy Creations Coffee Dyed Digital, and more of that rose scrapbook paper, avocado dyed paper, and the pink paper with the ruffle on it. My 1891 Digi, this is music paper with music on the back. And this is my 1891. And this I added, I don't think you guys saw this, it's just another one of those little tucks using one of Rachel Roxy Creations doilies. That's one of her butterflies. And then I just have this collage tag that has Tim Holtz, and that's Rachel's butterfly there. And a bunch of old paper scraps that, you know, from scrapbooking and whatever, so who knows how long they've been kicking around. Medieval Mirage, Grammy's Keepsakes. This is the middle of the signature. That's my one of my images from my 1891 Digi. Grammy's Keepsakes, Medieval Mirage, manila paper, 1891 my Digi. Avocado dye. That saturation of that avocado is so good right there, Denise. It's so pink. It's crazy. And then this is just a book page, or it was music paper, but on this side it was like their legs or whatever, nothing very exciting, so I put a piece of Tim Holtz wallpaper there. And then this has that little paper clip, altered paper clip that we can, you know, take off and put wherever we want, but it's just all fabric. And then I put that little skeleton key there, but it has a rose at the top. And then more masking paper, avocado dye, scrapbook, Rachel Roxy Creations, avocado dye, Medieval Mirage. This was a collage that I did. I think I did this one with you guys, with the birds and the lady, and more of that book page that I added other book page to and tore it off. And then another of that pink avocado dye that's been stamped. Grammy's Keepsake, my lace, Medieval Mirage. There's the last journaling card with the pocket we did together, and I signed it. So it is all complete, except I'm going to stitch around that one card that didn't get stitched around, but other than that, she's all ready to go, and I will list her, Fern, and you can go onto Etsy if you are still wanting her and pick her up. So I hope you guys liked her. I thought we could do a little bit of collage. I've had some people asking, like, you know, how do I collage, or, you know, that type of thing. So I'm just going to kind of give you an idea. We're just going to use a piece of this manila paper because I don't want to get in any trouble with book pages after my last book page fiasco. So, I mean, I've got some book page over here that I'll probably use for gluing or whatever, but I'm going to try to keep it off camera. So my next journal is going to be a Medieval Mirage Design Team journal for March, and I know it's not March yet, but I kind of like to keep up on that just in case I get orders, and you know, I want to be able to do those. And this one is probably going to go to Eva. She contacted me and wanted a journal, and I told her I was doing this one next, and when I told her I was using Medieval Mirage, she was interested in that. So that's probably what will happen with this one, but I will give her the opportunity to look at it and decide if that's what she was thinking, and if it's not, it'll go in my shop and be available for someone else. I'm just trying to get to those people that, you know, want custom order journals. So I got some construction paper, and I thought of this when I was working at the school one day. I was messing with construction paper and thought, you know, instead of like getting the rolls that you have to cut and they roll and all that, I thought construction paper might be fun because it feels, this page is all wrinkled, it feels very similar to, I'll use those for scraps, but it feels very similar to the masking paper. It's not quite as thick, but in a way that's better. And this is a purple color, and I'm using Medieval Mirage's Sweet Serenity Digi, and it's a new one, so if you haven't seen it, go on over and check it out, because it's beautiful. The colors just gorgeous. And so even though it's got a little more pink in this, I really like it with this nice lavender paper. So I'm going to put a few pages of that in. I just thought it went really well. There's some beautiful images in there. And I don't have the whole kit printed out because, as I've said before, her kits are pretty big. One thing I would suggest on, not the full pages, but these, you know, like 2 card type pages, they're pretty big and they hang off the side, so you might want to shrink to fit if you go get these and you try to print them out. Just shrink to fit these ones. These ones are fine that are the whole page, because even if a tiny bit gets cut off, it's not that big of a deal. I did cut some of them out last night that had gotten cut off, and it's not like a huge deal. I just ended up cutting off some of the darker edge to make both sides the same kind of thing. But yeah, they're just super pretty, and like I said, I don't have them all printed out, but I'll show you what I do have printed out so far. And I always end up going back and getting more. I just try not to print too much paper because you know, I feel like I just have a whole folder full of scraps and pages that never got used. So I really am trying to, you know, cut down some on my printing because I'm getting buried in scraps. So anyway, so I thought we could use some of these pieces today, especially since some of them, you know, got cut up on the edge or whatever. And I'll use some of this purple paper because it's quite beautiful. And just to give Eva an idea, I have found images like this, and I have more of them, but these are just the ones that I've cut out that I was going to use with this. So to see what you are thinking, and like that. And I've found some other ones, and I'll probably be using some Medieval Mirage stuff that isn't quite as, you know, colorful or whatever. So those kind of things will go with it. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what you're looking at, and if that's not what you're thinking, just let me know, and you know, I'll continue this journal, but we can talk about what you might like better or whatever. So, and we talked a little bit, but we didn't get a chance to really get into much on that, so I just want to make sure you're going to get what you're wanting. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I didn't even say that because I'm so rude. Sorry about that. I just get like that one-track mind thing, and it's like I'm going to show this journal and that's what I'm doing. So you have to excuse me sometimes with that. I apologize because it's not very nice. Alright, so I don't like the way there's like a fold up here. I don't know how those got kind of folded, but that bugs me, so I'm going to take that edge off. Can't pick this up. And so you can use whatever you want to collage onto. This manila paper is kind of good because stuff glues to it really easy. But if you know, mostly I will use book page just because I have lots of book pages and I don't want to just throw them in the trash. So, you know, I just want to make sure that I use stuff up. I'm going to have my book page down here where I'm going to glue, but I'm just putting glue on the back of these. And so people were asking about how to collage. The big things that I've discovered with collage, and I've played with it for quite a while, is that you need to use bigger pieces if possible rather than small pieces, because I've found when I try to do collages using little teeny tiny pieces of paper, and that's not to say you can't use any tiny pieces of paper, but when I do that I tend to have a harder time. Like, I get irritated because it's not going the way that I want it to, and I think it's because when you have too many tiny ones it just ends up looking like, you know, kind of something crazy. I don't know, but anyway, so I tend to like to use a little bit bigger pieces. Another thing that I've discovered, especially if you're going to do like a whole page like I do for my Digis that are sort of like this. This piece is a little bit bigger. These run 12 by 9. So instead of 8.5 by 11, they're 12 by 9. But if you're going to do like really big pieces, like I do when I collage a lot of times for my digitals, go with odds. So like, you know, if you're just doing a tag or something, go with 3 or 5 of something. And the same thing if you're using really big pieces of paper, 3, 5, 7, you know, that kind of thing, instead of evens. It just tends to look better, and I don't know why that is, but for some reason it's like a feng shui thing. It's just more pleasing to the eye. Another thing is like this. I have this piece that's square, I have this piece that's rectangular, and so that gives you, instead of having square, 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 you know what I'm saying? That ends up looking strange for some reason. It's like the other day when my son and I were working on that Digi with the ads. He put a bunch of them on, and there were like 5 of them, even though it was 5, but there were 5 all in a line, and they were all the same width and same length. And I'm like, that won't work. And he's like, why? They fit. It fits like that. And I'm like, but it does. Sorry, it's upside down. It's annoying. Like, it doesn't look right. It's not pleasing to the eye. When you look at it, it's distracting. Like, it's the first thing that you look at. You can't look around the page and see everything. You're just instantly drawn right here to those 5 rectangles that are all the same. So at least that's what I find. And I am not an expert, so don't get me wrong. It's not, I haven't been educated in any of this. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, so like, what do I know, really? Not anything. But I'm just saying, it's just something to think about when you're collaging. It's the odds, and you don't want stuff to all be the same size. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to come up here. I need something darker, so I'm going to pull out, I have her whole file. See, this is what I'm dealing with. This is why I want to start getting rid of some stuff, because it's just gotten to be a mess. And I'm sure there's a million better ways to keep that stuff, but that's just the way I do it. But I am going to have to come up with a better system. I was watching Gail, and she's got those plastic, you know, containers, and I think I might end up doing something like that. Because I have a huge, big plastic container, and I put them all in those files because those files fit into the plastic container perfectly. And then I've got all of my digital downloads in that one big container. But manila file folders are not my favorite thing in the world. I mean, they're great for making stuff with, but I don't know whoever decided they were good for, you know, storing paper. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But anyway, I don't like them that much. So see, I'm just using all kinds of different stuff. And I'm using all different sizes. And I think that's really what helps, is the all different sizes thing too. The odds, all different sizes, and just lots of variety kind of thing. Because if you try to work with like 2 pieces of paper, 2 styles of paper or something, that can also get really annoying. Because you just can't, you just don't have enough variety that way. Of course, this is just a little bit too small. Let's see what else. But yeah, so those are just all things to think about. And this is what I do. Like, I put that up there, I'm like, that's not going to work, so then I go find something else that maybe will work. So it's just trial and error, and playing around with paper, basically. And, you know, if you tear one and you're like, oh, now what am I going to do with it? Just keep it, because the next collage you do, you know, it may fit perfectly. So, you know, don't worry if it's not perfect. And then what I do if I don't like it's hanging over too much, I kind of make it a crazy or jagged, you know, type thing like that. And I was inking all the edges, but after watching Gail and a few other people do it, I'm kind of liking not inking the edges of these. Plus it makes it go a whole lot faster. And then I just ink at the end. You know, once I cut it all up and everything, I just ink real quick, and then it's not quite so time consuming and irritating. Yeah. So those are just some things that I can think of to say, and like I said, I have never been educated on this stuff, so I could be totally wrong. Like somebody who's maybe gone to art school or something like that could be saying, what in the world, you don't even know what you're talking about. But that's just what I find pleasing to my eye. That doesn't mean that it's right, you know. So just take that into consideration when you're doing it. This is really white scrap, so we're going to make it a less white scrap. And I just said I'd not been inking, but it's just too white up against that. This is on parchment paper, so is that, so that's why they look different. That helps. I mean, a little color variation is fine, it's just the stark white looked weird. And these are all like, these scraps, this is my Medieval Mirage folder, which I've been trying to use up, so I've been using a lot of these scraps, but it's all Medieval Mirage, and they're all different, from all different kits of hers, so I don't really know all of the ones they are. I'm going to put a little ink on this too. It's just very, it needs a little like variation in there. There's like that fold right there, so I got more ink on it. You can also take little pieces, like I have this that I did last night while watching TV, and these are Medieval Mirage pieces. So I collaged the whole page. I then cut those pieces out and added them last. And like this label from Rachel Roxy Creations. And that just kind of gives you some more focal points, so you can add on things, which I'll probably add something on there. Probably should have waited on that one because it's got that uneven edge, but I don't want to go rectangle, rectangle. So I think I'm going to kind of just, that won't lift, come here, and then I can add another piece of something there. Or you can just cover that, but I kind of want that lilac there, so. It's just all whatever you like, basically. And then it's fun to have some stuff like, you know, music paper, instead of trying to just use the kit or whatever. It's fun to have some other things to use too. That's going to be too straight, but I can put something else over there, so. And I saved these because I like that paper, that old paper. I don't know, which side do I like better? I can't tell what's up or down. Oh, that's, okay, so this is that. I kind of like this because I like the, but I don't want to cover that. So see, I'll just save that for something else, and I'm going to go find something different. I want to use something not, okay, I'm going to use a piece of this typewriting lesson paper. Here, this one's cool. So even though you think, well, that doesn't really go with that, I like things like that. I think I've talked about it before. It's that whole kind of juxtaposition thing, and I just like that. So, but that's not to say that you have to do that. You know, you can do something entirely different. And I messed that up. Yes, it would help if I measured, I know. But I don't do that very well. And I know it makes people crazy, and I'm sorry. But I am who I am. That's all I can be. Alright, so we're going to put some glue on that. And then another thing, you don't want all the edges to line up. Like this clock paper, the edge comes out here. So I'm going to scoot this over. You know, it's still covering the manila paper, but it's not edge to edge with that piece of paper. You kind of want, you know, some variation. You don't want all the edges lined up perfectly because it just ends up looking weird. I think I'll do. And sometimes my collages go really fast, like every piece I grab just works. And other times, like I'm struggling now, it just doesn't. For whatever reason. And so you just gotta play with it until you like what's happening, you know? I think I'm gonna do something like that. And that's just kind of the way it is. See, like now this kind of thing would be good down here. I don't want that more of a rough edge, but I just want to take a tiny bit off. Ow, come on. And so I'll use this in this new journal. You know, cut up into tags or pockets, or, you know, just like you saw me do yesterday with the tags and pockets and all that. My paper's getting sticky, but I'll save it and do some more collage. I really like saving these flat ones now. I'm just saving them just like they are and letting them dry, and then I use them for collage. It works out great because I've got loads of these folded ones already. Okay, so I think that's looking good. I'll find something to go here. I'm not going to leave that like that. In fact, this rose right here might work. So what I've been doing is kind of just using my tear ruler. I was going to use my deckled scissors, but I'll just use my tear ruler. And going all around the edges, almost like a little stamp, you know? And then I've kind of just been doing something like that with the ladies, and except those ones, they were in ovals already, so I went ahead and just used the oval. And I might go ink that a little, just so that you can see it better. Because it seems like you just sometimes have these weird edges, you know. If you tear everything perfectly with a tear ruler, you probably will have, you know, not have that problem, but I don't do that, so. And these tear rulers I get on Amazon, and I've been trying in my videos to leave a link in my description box. I know I did in the video I did yesterday. I left a link in there so that you can go, you know, find them. I guess that's okay. Yeah, that'll be alright, but this just needs ink. So again, square to rectangle, that kind of thing, or this one's going this way, so I'm making one go this way. That way you don't end up with that weird like square, 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 square looking thing. And I've done it. Believe me, I've done it. Music is the one thing I stink at, man. I cannot tell if it's right side up or upside down, unless, you know, like the treble clef's there or something. That is for sure. I'm always asking my daughter, does this go this way or this way? She's like, Mom. It's like, sorry, I can't tell. I'm not trying to not tell, I just can't tell. Still in shock that she's going to be 18. Ugh. Time goes too fast, I'm telling you, like it's crazy. So I've got some fat, wide pieces, some skinny pieces. So really, I guess what I'm saying is you just don't want everything to be the same size and the same direction and, you know, all those kind of things. You want variation. I can't tell. I think that was upside down. I think that's right. And then I definitely need something in that corner because that is bugging me. I like the purple, but I'm not liking that corner. So maybe let's put this girl there. This is Medieval Mirage. So can we do... yeah, it just needs ink, I think. I'm going to dry that page. And I'm just over here putting a little ink on her because she's on white paper. Just throws it off a little bit with that, whatchamacallit, parchment, which I'm liking better now, but a lot of these I printed previously, so. You could also, after you finish collaging, go around and put on, you know, stuff like Tracy Fox's Fussy Cut Birds or flowers, or, you know, you can do all that kind of thing too. This corner is not staying down. That helps. I don't know, something about that purple. Maybe I need another piece of it that might help. Just to kind of give us a little variation there. Let's go down here. So here I am going to have a couple that are going the same up and down thing, but I won't do another one after that. I'll do something else. You know what might help is to kind of crinkle this. We'll try it. It's a bit thicker than like the other painters. Masking that green crinkles really good. But really just play. Like that's truly all I can say about it, is just play with it and you know, see what you like. Because there's been pages of collage that I've been like, nope, we're getting rid of that. That's kind of all I did last year. In a lot of ways, I collaged and would make ephemera with it and sell it. I mean, I did journals too, but not as many. Yeah, I think that helps to crinkle it. It just looks like it fits better than when it's stark and flat. So I'm going to go for more of a square shape now, because I've kind of rectangled out. And you can probably see too that I go up and down and here and there. I don't just stay in one area of the collage. And that's just a personal preference, but you know, you gotta do what works for you. Take just a little more off the top. So it's gonna get a little more rectangular, but I want it to fit right here, so. I'm going through the pages real fast. I must be making a mess with the glue, like usual. And I use Scotch Create. This is the best one that I've found for collage or anything as far as those go. I tried Yoo-Hoo, did not like it. It's too dry or something. I couldn't get the stick that I like to have. I don't want anything coming off. I mean, nobody does. I'm not saying other people do. It just must work better for other people. And it may depend on climate too. That's a very big possibility because I know here it's just dry. So if you have like a kind of a dry glue stick, then it's just, it doesn't have a chance, you know, it just doesn't. So I think that does depend a lot on your climate. Because I know people just love the Yoo-Hoo. I just didn't like it. But that doesn't mean that there's, you know, it's wrong. It's just, I don't like it. Just like Fabri-Tac. And I think I'm the only one in the world that doesn't like Fabri-Tac. But anyway. Okay, I'm just looking through my folder here to see what else we got. Oh, this is cool. This is Medieval Mirage, Medieval Missives. I had to read that. Can remember. Oh, that was really great, Amy. Oh, we can still use this. If I don't completely destroy it before it's done. Well, that gives us a different size and shape. Down here. Let's see. We need like another lady or something like that. Problem is I have stuff that's printed on the manila paper as well as on white paper, and I don't want to mix those two because it looks weird together. This would be pretty. This isn't a lady, but it's flowers. This is Medieval Odyssey, Volume 1, I think. Yeah, Volume 1. Good thing she puts those on there because I'd be lost entirely. Especially because I keep them all together. Some of these I'll save, like these, obviously I'm just going to toss. Kind of big. They would work right there. And that I'm going to ink a little because it's the white paper. And so let me know what you guys think, if you liked that, if you like watching collage, or if you're, you know, over it or whatever, because I can definitely do more of these. It's just I don't want people to be bored out of their gourd. I mean, I find it relaxing, but that doesn't mean that other people do or want to see it all the time. I mean, I have a lot of people say it's relaxing, but that doesn't mean they want to watch it all the time. So I just want, you know, I had somebody who is interested in collage, so that's awesome, and I don't mind doing it at all. I just don't want everybody being like, yeah, we know you do it all the time. Because I do. But my fingers are sticking to the paper. It's pretty bad. I think this is going to be really pretty though, this journal. I mean, I really liked that last one I did too. I've liked all of them lately. That winter one, the Valentine's one, I've just been having a blast, which is awesome. So fun. Let's see if we can find one of the girls from Ladies, however. She's kind of big for that spot. I didn't print out a ton of them. Could use that little box right there. I know I'm tearing up all these pages to use in the journal, but I usually don't end up using all of them for the journal, so, you know, because I always make tags and whatever. Just kind of the nature of the beast. Ah, tore that one weird. We could use, a lot of times what I'll do if I have that kind of situation where there's just a little bit, is I will cut a strip out of something and use it. So I just have to figure out, I don't know, maybe I just want it along the edge. Time are we at? Oh, almost an hour. Yeah, I think that's well done, but I'm going to wrinkle it because I don't like it like that. And you have to remember it's all going to get like chopped up and stuff, so if it's not, you know, what you were thinking when you're looking at it like that, just remember that it's not going to stay that way. Actually, I'm thinking this might be better. But it won't meet right there. Sorry, I'm on a tangent now. I'm going to tear a little bit out of this because it's kind of like that kind of a shape. It'll work. Okay, there's that much. And we can ink this. And I may end up covering that up there. I just don't love it when it's not crinkled for some reason. So often at the end it kind of just becomes like filling space, you know. I'm sticking to the page. Actually don't need to rip that, but I'm going to tear it just a little bit. Yeah, definitely the crinkly looks better and inked, so good to know. But anyway, there's a whole sheet. So it's always live and learn when you do these things. You'll find out what you like the look of better, and then the next time you can do it that way. I'm trying to find my lid, sorry. So yeah, so that's our collage. And I could add a few little like stamps or, you know, things like that. Stamps would be really cool, like postage stamps. Where are mine? Oh look, here's a purple one right here. What are the odds? And I put my paper away. I'm going through glue sticks like nobody's business lately. My husband's like, you got your daily Amazon delivery. I was like, sorry. Thank you. It drives him crazy because he's one of those people that hates anybody, you know, spending money. It's like, so yeah. It's one of those kind of deals. So how I decide where to put these is kind of like if there's a corner that I'm not loving the look of or something, which I don't have it as bad on this one. I kind of did last night on that one that I was working on. Then I'll put a stamp or something on that corner. This one's actually pretty good. I like the look of it, but I think I'll go maybe right there. Looks better up here. I'll just go right here. I forgot to ink it, but I'll get it when I... And you don't have to do the same color. You know, you could definitely, like, this color would look really good with this stuff. So like this. Or a gray would be good, but I just liked those purple ones with it because I'm one of those matchy kind of peoples. I really hope that's right side up. I really need my glasses, but I don't know what I did with them. I think it is. It really stinks when you, oh, nope, that's the way it goes. You get to an age and you cannot see. It's ridiculous. So anyway, there it is. So you can do loads of different variations and whatever, and I hope that helped. I mean, other than that, I don't know what else to say except just do it and try it and have fun with it, you know. And doing it in front of the television, like I've mentioned, that really works the best for me, because then I don't sit and analyze each piece that I put down as much, because, you know, I'm kind of paying attention to the show, so I'm just kind of tearing and putting things down, and that seems to work the best for me. So I hope you guys have an awesome evening. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye now.